Hello, this is Miss Schrader. Today we are going to be talking about the painting The Assumption of the Virgin by Titian, which you can see here. My students, you are going to need a piece of paper and something to write with. When you're done taking your notes, you're going to give me between 7 and 10 sentences about what you found interesting, educational, and important about The Assumption of the Virgin by Titian. Okay, so here we have a self-portrait of Titian done in 1567. It's now housed in the Museo del Prado in Madrid. He was born between 1488 and 1490, and he died in 1576. He is considered a very significant Renaissance artist, but he's a little different from Leonardo and some of the other ones because he is from Venice and did the bulk of his work in Venice. The Assumption of the Virgin was a very popular theme in both medieval art and during the Renaissance. The piece you're looking at right now is by Bellini, and it was done actually very close to the same time period. So once again, you can see the Virgin Mary at the top and the apostles at the bottom. But this one, and I'm going to show you the other one again in a minute, is a little stiffer, a little bit more formal, and certainly doesn't have as many people or as much movement going on. So this is Titian's version again. It is in the Basilica de Santa Maria Gloriosa de Frare in Venice. It is the largest altarpiece in Venice. It was done between 1516 and 1518. It's oil on panel and it's 270 inches by 140 inches. And so it is very, very large. Now, one of the things I want you to notice is that it is divided up into three sections. Um, at the center, we have the Virgin Mary standing on clouds, looking very, very shocked. She's wearing a red robe and blue mantle, and she's making gestures of astonishment. All around her, there are lots of angels, and of course, the children angels are naked so that we can see their bodies and things like that. Below her are the apostles, all tightly packed together, all in dramatic poses, looking completely shocked as Mary ascends into heaven. And then at the very, very top of the picture, we have God the Father, who is about to hand a crown, is about to be handed a crown to put on Mary's head by an angel who is at the right. Now let's discuss the religious aspect of this. The belief was that the Virgin Mary, Jesus' mother, never died. Eventually, in time, some clouds appeared underneath her while she was with the apostles, and she was taken up into heaven. She ascended into heaven. And you've seen a couple of different versions of it now, but normally, yes, she is shown being taken up into heaven. The apostles around her are in shock and awe. They're normally fairly joyous, and she's shocked, and we have some various version of God the Father in this picture. Here we have the face of God the Father as he is shown in Titian's painting. I don't know who Titian got to pose for this, but he presumably had someone posing so that he could give the incredible detail of this face, which is kind of the standard face for God that we normally see presented in Renaissance art. Here we have God and the angel who is handing God the crown to put on Mary's head. One of the things you should be noticing is that we don't have a whole lot of body for God. We've got his head and his shoulder and his torso and his arms, but beyond that, we don't see anything of him. And keep in mind, it's God. He can be portrayed in any way that you want. Here we have a closer look at Mary. Keep in mind, by this point in her life, Mary should definitely be at the very least in middle age, 50, which in those days would have been quite old. She does look kind of older, if I am honest. You can see all the drapery in her clothing. A great deal of detail has been gone into, and of course the expression on her face, astonishment, but I don't think fear. Here are some of the angels who are helping Mary to go up into heaven. Like most Renaissance artists, Titian was very fond of being able to show off his ability to show the nude human body. And so he's doing it with these children who are angels, so that you can see every little detail of them. Um, and yeah, he's showing them as sort of pudgy little kids. You can see kind of the fat in their skin and things like that. The other thing is, can you see all the movement? They paused in movement and they just seem to be doing a lot of moving around. Down below are the apostles. They do seem to be rather frightened. They seem to be desperately trying to reach up and bring her back down to them. They do seem to be in shock. This is a huge group of people crowded together, and you can see that the different movement, the limbs, there is a whole lot of movement being shown in this painting. Here we have the Basilica de Santa Maria Gloriosa de Ferrer in Venice. This is where the painting is housed. Here is the painting in situ in the cathedral, behind the altar. And here we pulled back a little bit. The original of this picture actually shows pews and people sitting in the pews, and apparently can't see them now. Okay, so I've been telling you some things about the Assumption of the Virgin by Titian. My students, you need to give me between 7 and 10 sentences about what you found interesting, educational, and important, and I hope that you enjoyed this.